Welcome to TV2 Sports Talk on DMG Channel 2 from Time Warner Cable. I'm Bill Morgan on the campus of Kent State Tusc in New Philadelphia, and on this week's show, we'll be talking about the expansion of athletics here at Kent State Tusc. We'll be joined by the Dean, Brad Bielski, as well as Kent State Tusc Rob Brinley to talk about expanding athletic opportunities and what it means not only to the student body here at Kent State Tusc, but also from the opportunity perspective to promote the university not only in the Tuscarawas County area but all throughout eastern Ohio. The expansion of sports at Kent State Tuscarawas when TV2 Sports Talk continues on DMG Channel 2 from Time Warner Cable.
I think the hands-on aspect is going to give you an opportunity to explore, find out what you're good at, what you like, and you're not going to have mountains of debt. What you're going to have is a marketable skill that even if you don't love it, you can use that to pay to go on to college and get that degree. And we've got a number of students that do that. They're very mature. I think we're a great hands-on exploration base.
Well, I woke up to the sound of silence and cars. We're cutting like knives in a fist fight. And I found you with a tear in your eye, your head in the curtains and heart like the 4th of July.
You swore and said, we are not shining stars. This I know, I never said we are. If you're lost and alone, or you're sinking like a stone, carry on. May your past be the sound of your feet upon the ground. Carry on. Carry on, carry on. We are shining stars. Carry on, invincible. We are who we are.
Welcome to TV2 Sports Talk on DMG Channel 2 from Time Warner Cable. Our show continuing this week from the gymnasium on the campus of Kent State Tuscarawas in New Philadelphia. I'm Bill Morgan, happy to be joined by the Dean at Kent State Tuscarawas, Brad Bielski. And Dean, at a time when at some universities, quite frankly, they're cutting back on athletics. Not the case here at Kent State Tuscarawas. You guys are expanding. Tell us a little bit about the vision.
Well, one of the things that we're hoping to create is an increased sense of campus engagement, student involvement, and really just an overall sense of community here at the campus. And I really believe that intercollegiate athletics is one way to make that happen.
Dean, prior to here, you were at Thomas More, and I know you were pretty proud of the athletic program they had there. Did you find some of the same success, I guess, away from the playing field in terms of being able to promote the university?
Oh, absolutely. You know, nothing helps to promote a university like intercollegiate athletics. And as you mentioned, the Lady Saints at Thomas More are actually competing in their second straight NCAA Division III National Championship actually today. So best of luck to the Lady Saints. But having said that, here at KSU, we're going to compete on a national level as well. And that's one of the exciting things about moving to the USCAA is we're going to be able to compete and say that yes, in fact, our athletes will be at the highest level competing for national championships. And with that comes so much publicity, so much press, and so much interest in the campus.
Dean Brad Bielski from Kent State Tuscarawas, our guest this week on TV2 Sports Talk from DMG Channel 2 on Time Warner Cable. Dean, USCAA, tell us what that is.
Well, the USCAA is a national organization that allows not only regional campuses but smaller campuses to compete in a number of sports. We are looking at not only continuing our excellence in men's and women's basketball. We have an excellent golf team, and that'll allow us to compete at a national level there as well. We're looking at adding men's and women's soccer. We're looking at adding men's fast pitch, of course, baseball, women's fast pitch softball, wrestling. So really there are a number of sports that allow us to compete in as early as this fall semester.
Tell us a little bit about, I guess, cooperating athletics and academia. I do some work with another university that for now will go unmentioned, but Dean, when we talk about that, honestly, sometimes there's not a lot of cooperation and sometimes a tad bit of animosity between academics and athletics on the university level. I guess, how do you mold those two together to work together?
Well, that can be a challenge, but you have to have your campus embrace athletics comprehensively. So you get the students excited, you get the faculty excited about it, you get the staff excited about it, and attend a lot of games, and that helps to build that momentum and really break down any barriers that you might have in terms of some of the class scheduling issues and things like that. Travel is always an issue with intercollegiate athletics, but often if you are really good about the scheduling and are upfront about it and talk to faculty and staff and say, our athletes are going to have to travel at these times and these days, normally they go out of their way to try to accommodate that as long as you know upfront.
Dean Brad Bielski from Kent State Tuscarawas, our guest as we do TV2 Sports Talk live from the gymnasium. And I believe, Dean, in talking with you and Rob Brenley, one of you alluded to the fact that we're here in this gymnasium, which is very nice for a university of this size. Really, when it comes to campus universities, very few, if any, have their own gymnasiums.
That's absolutely true. And in fact, in the Kent regional system, I think we're the last Kent regional campus that has their own gymnasium. So there was a time when the regional campuses of Kent all participated in athletics. And right now, this is the only Kent regional campus that has intercollegiate athletics available whatsoever. I will say, since we've made this announcement, that more than one of the regional campuses have been interested and may be starting to explore joining the USCAA and maybe playing Kent Tusc in competitive environment. We will win.
There you go. You want to have athletics, you want to win too. And Dean, as we wrap up the opening part of our conversation, I guess, what is the reality for sort of bringing all this together in terms of, you mentioned wanting to maybe have part of this in motion by the time fall semester gets here. Give us a little bit of the view of that picture.
At first I thought this was going to be really challenging and difficult, and it will not be without its obstacles and barriers. I have been overwhelmed with the unsolicited support that we've received from our community. So I have been contacted by area high school athletic directors, folks in the media, coaches, people who are just enthusiasts about athletics in general in the community leaders, all stepping up to the plate and saying, this is long overdue. How can we help to get this started? So where I had first thought, the recruitment of coaches, the securing of different facilities might be a problem, I'm seeing quite the opposite. The people in the community are just asking, how can we be a part of this? How can we help? How can we move this forward? And I think you're going to see crowds at these games once they start.
Coming up when TV2 Sports Talk rolls on from the campus of Kent State Tuscarawas, we'll talk with Kent's Rob Brenley about more as this motion and plan for it goes in action. Athletics growing at Kent State Tuscarawas. More on TV2 Sports Talk on the way from DMG Channel 2 on Time Warner Cable.
WJER and TV2 would like to introduce you to a new website, WJERTV2.com, where you can watch exciting high school football, soccer, and volleyball replays from TV2 Sports on your home computer, smartphone, or tablet. Also watch the latest episodes of TV2's original programming, Sports Talk, The Garden Girl, The Not So Shy Chef, Off the Record, and Medical Minutes, as well as catch up on local community news and search for local businesses. So make sure to check out the new WJERTV2.com community website where everything's local.
Hi, I'm Elaine Miller with Naturally Green Cleaning Service. My company serves both commercial and residential clients. We do general cleaning, spring and fall, empty homes to get them move-in ready, and final cleans for new construction. We use eco-friendly cleaning products that leave your home or office fresh, clean, and safe for you, your family, pets, or coworkers. Our focus at Naturally Green is to provide excellent customer service paired with outstanding work to build a relationship of trust with you, our clients. Having served the area 4+ years, we have had many referrals and testimonials that you can access on our website at www.naturallygreencs.com. Our work sells itself, therefore we have never had any contracts even with our largest commercial accounts. Call us today for your free quote and see what makes our company stand out.
TV2 Sports Talk continuing on DMG Channel 2 from Time Warner Cable. I'm Bill Morgan. This week we're talking sports at Kent State Tuscarawas. Happy to be joined by Kent State Tuscarawas' Rob Brindley. And Rob, the Dean was alluding to during the first part of the show, you guys have men's basketball, women's basketball, golf for men. I guess when it comes to what's on the immediate range in terms of planning for sports and growth, maybe starting with next fall semester.
Bill, the first and foremost, I think the sports that we want to add are the ones that we already have facilities for. One of those would be volleyball, and we have a coach who is on staff. It happens to be Audrey Sumser, who is an assistant librarian here on campus. She played in college and at Akron-Hoban High School. And we have 9 young ladies who are at our campus who have high school experience. 3 of those on Dover teams who are very good Dover teams, a couple from Tusky Valley as well, but a good mixture. Also, we're thinking about wrestling. Basically, we have a gymnasium, we need a mat. We have a coach who wants to coach already, not hired yet, but a name widely known in our area. We just need to attract the wrestlers now, and he's been doing that even though he's not hired for coach. But the other sport I see starting really soon is soccer. We want to start the soccer and cross country as well. Cross country, we have a track down to run on at Buckeye Career Center. They worked with our engineering students on developing that track. It's already there. New Philadelphia uses it for home meets, and I think the all-county cross country meet has been held there. That and then soccer, but the only problem with soccer that might be a little hitch is trying to get soccer field playing time with the New Philadelphia playing time. So that has yet to be worked out. But cross country, wrestling, and probably even bowling, because we have a coach for that already, and we'll be using Wabash lanes.
And Rob, when you talk about a sport like volleyball, and we don't have enough time to break it down for all the sports, but boy, volleyball is a sport that here in Tuscarawas County is outstanding. Central Catholic has had a great volleyball program. You mentioned Tusky Valley. Dover has certainly made some runs. New Philadelphia's won back-to-back ECOL championships. So sort of a fertile recruiting background in your own backyard.
Well, you know, you have to look at where the athletes are from at your campus, and we looked at that, and probably one of the biggest sports that we could host at our campus would be volleyball, because we do have a number of those players. A lot of the young ladies, if they don't go D1, or a lot of the athletes, they're not typically going to go away and play unless they go to D3 and get a scholarship, but we know a lot of times that can be very cost prohibitive for them. We see a number of students transfer back. I have a golfer who transferred back from a private school to our campus who I had recruited to come to our campus, and now he's going to play for us in his second year.
Rob Brindley, our guest from Kent State Tuscarawas, as we talk athletics and the growing thereof here at the campus in New Philadelphia. Rob, when we talk about athletics getting larger here, one of the things that you and Dean Bielski did several weeks back was sort of hold a press conference, if you will, at which you invited area athletic directors and coaches. And I know certainly you guys got a pretty big response to that, and a couple of the people in attendance were names folks watching this show would certainly know, including Dover basketball coach Bob Von Kennel and Indian Valley's Jamie Herman.
Well, and we've got a lot of mileage out of having those 2 young gentlemen give our support from them. So we asked if we could use some of the quotes that were in Jim Haynes from the Times Reporter's story, and we sent out follow-up press releases to those schools. And from those follow-up letters, we got inquiries from Steubenville High School, Coach Mike Haney, from Cheryl Weber down at Cambridge High School. So just the impact of having that support of our local coaches and athletic directors is going to be huge for us, Bill. It's another vehicle for their students to go on and realize their dream of possibly playing for a national championship, but extending their career in athletics and able to stay at home.
Rob, when you talk about trying to chase down and hire and recruit coaches, I guess how do you guys work to make that a reality? Obviously, you have some talented people who probably coached the high school ranks, maybe even some on the assistant coaching level in the collegiate ranks. How do you find those people?
It's harder than you think, but I have been very blessed to have the participation on a little advisory board between the dean and I with Tom Farbizo, who is retired athletic director from New Philadelphia High School. And Tom is very well connected. People respect him. He has given us names of coaches to call or potential coaches to call, and from those we field other names. And then we just keep calling and making contacts. Tom has been very good at doing that. We have found coaches for bowling, wrestling, soccer and cross country so far. So we're looking to expand that to baseball and softball. I had an inquiry today about baseball from a couple former Claymont coaches who are interested in coaching at our campus. So it's kind of word of mouth, Bill, I think, and we haven't really advertised, but we want to keep it local because we want to remain local in the community. We want to be very active, so it's kind of like buy local, be local, that kind of thing. We want to do the same thing. We want to give back to our community members who have supported us. Some of them were students at our campus, and what a better way for us to give back.
TV2 Sports Talk on DMG Channel 2 from Time Warner Cable. This week talking about the expansion of athletics coming to the Kent State Tuscarawas campus. And Rob, as we round out this part of our conversation, you talk about finding the coaches, finding the athletes. What type, in terms of the athletic program, will this be an opportunity for kids to compete on a 4-year basis, a 2-year basis? What does the USCAA regulate in terms of that stuff?
Well, both of those levels, Bill. We're hoping that we attract students here for 4 years because it's not a National Junior College Association. This is a 4-year degreed institution, but we do have associate degrees as well. But you can get 4-year degrees here. We're hoping to attract students here. If they're only coming for a 2-year, attract them for those 2 years. And again, they can extend their participation in athletics to that 2 years. If it's 4 years, well, we'd really be blessed to have athletes at our campus for 4 years. As you know, Tom Farbiza, who I mentioned a couple minutes ago, came up with a great quote. He told me that athletics is the biggest learning classroom that we have in our schools today, whether it's high school or college. I believe that's true because you work as a teammate. It's like being a workmate. You learn how to work together, and then all the fans who participate at the games, all the people who come to watch the games, the little children, the athletic directors, the players, the coaches, they see how your campus, the inner workings of your campus. That's almost like bare bones. You put those guys out there on the guys and ladies out there on the field of athletic competition. Sometimes, you get down a little bit, and it's how do you react in the face of adversity, and how do you carry yourself, when someone else might take a cheap shot at you? How do you react? And those are all things I think that students in our area do very well, and we want to give them an opportunity to, again, carry that on to the college level.
The expansion of athletics at Kent State Tuscarawas, our focus this week on TV2 Sports Talk. More on the growth coming up as TV2 Sports Talk rolls on DMG Channel 2 from Time Warner Cable.
Just wanting to be a police officer, I knew this was a great start, and it turned out to be a fantastic one.
Just be able to actually see what you're doing, what you're working on, and understand how you can take one thing and turn it into something else.
We got to creatively use skills and academics and see how we can place them into our fields.
It's pretty much I had the key to open the door, and that was from Buckeye.
Taking the area by storm, Lightning Signs and Decals specializes in custom signs, banners, and graphics. We are also an authorized distributor for Mossy Oak, Browning, Realtree, and Bone Collector graphics and products, as well as a hunting and fishing license agent. Visit online at lightningsign.com or visit the storefront located at 224 7th Street in New Philadelphia.
TV2 Sports Talk rolling on from DMG Channel 2 and Time Warner Cable from the campus of Kent State Tuscarawas in New Philadelphia, talking about growing the athletic programs here at Kent State Tuscarawas with the Dean Brad Bielski on my right and Rob Brindley on my left. I think just about, certainly people, Dean, watching this show, they love sports. But when it comes to that at the university level or even at the high school level, it costs money. How do you guys try and make that happen in a time when budgets are challenging for everybody's universities, families, and individuals?
We're very fortunate. We've been a very fiscally sound organization for a very long time. And what that allows us to do is actually make some upfront investments in programs, and athletics being one of those programs. So we're going to put some money up front, invest in the program with the understanding that the return on investment will come down the road. So the return on investment will, of course, come in terms of more students on campus, That brings in additional tuition dollars, it brings in state subsidy money, and as we've already discussed, it brings a lot of free publicity and exposure to the campus.
And Dean, one of the things I've heard in the past is that, if you're, especially if you're not, I don't know, the Ohio States or the Notre Dames of the world, if you're a smaller university, you get a college bowl bid, and suddenly that team, which might not normally be on national TV, they will actually see enrollment applications climb and grow and things along those lines with that increased exposure.
Absolutely. It's a real effect that you can see whenever you have not just a program, but when you have a winning program. So the goal is to, of course, add athletics as a student experience piece to the campus. But to maximize the benefit, maximize the potential, we want to have a winning program. And with the quality of athletes that we have here in the region, I think that will take no more than a year or two to see some really talented, well-developed, competitive teams here at Kent State Tuscarawas.
I think, Rod Brenly, the heat is immediately on you as you're helping the dean put this effort together. He says winner in a year to 2 years. You're already turning red over there. I don't know.
Well, I can speak for the golf team. We've had pretty good success, and nothing but way to go. But up, Bill, I've been out on the trail recruiting. I was at Buckeye Local High School on Friday morning, meet with a young man who's their #1 player. I've been all over the state and contacting people, and people contacting me. We're going to leave no stone unturned. We want the best, and we want the student athlete. I keep stressing that, student athlete. You're not just going to be an athlete here. First and foremost, you're a student. That's why it becomes before athlete. We're talking about players coming in who have 3.87 GPAs and 26 on the ACT. We want you to persist to get your degree, but hey, if you want to help us win a championship along the way, we'd be more than happy to help you do that.
Rob, the United States Collegiate Athletic Association, the dean talked a little bit about what that is. Maybe for people who are more familiar with smaller universities, compare in our area, compare and contrast, say, what the USCAA offers in terms of, hey, people are familiar with, say, Muskingum or Marietta, they're familiar with Malone and Walsh. Where does all that sandwich in together?
Well, just below NCAA Division III, you have NAIA, National Athletic and Invitational Association. So you have that, and then the USCAA, which has started 15 years ago, is on par with the NAIA, and they're building membership because, Bill, they have 2 divisions within the USCAA. They have a Division I, those are for NAIA, I say this, NAIA and NCAA dual members. They are also members of the USCAA. Then they have Division II, which are members of the USCAA only. We'll be competing, first of all, in Division II until we hopefully one day reach the NAIA level. They follow all the restrictions on eligibility guidelines as the NCAA does. As a matter of fact, they're a little more stringent about that. We're 1.7 for NCAA to be eligible for a freshman. It's a 1.8. But of course, coaches can do what they would like with that GPA, raise it up. I demand the students on the golf team have a 2.0 GPA because I feel if you don't have a C average, then you're not doing enough in the classroom. And like I say, you're a student first, athlete second.
Rob Brenly, along with the dean here at Kent State Tuscarawas, Brad Bielski, our guest on TV2 Sports Talk. Now, Dean, shortly after you got here, you and I debated. I'm pretty sure that I lost as we talked about the Cincinnati Bengals and the Cleveland Browns. Now, fortunately, in that meeting, and I don't think it's happened since, the Browns won the game, even though I lost the debate. Tell us about what you like in terms of sports. Do you have a favorite sport? Are you passionate about more than one?
Shuffleboard.
That'll be coming soon to Kent State Tuscarawas.
No, football is my passion. I love football. Baseball season is starting now. This is actually one of the best times of the year. You've got baseball season starting, NCAA tournament just wrapping up, so NBA, kind of moving towards its finality. So this is a great time of year if you're a sports enthusiast. But football is what I, in the fall, wake up in the morning, try to figure out what all the stats are in terms of the NFL, NCAA, high school. So, I think it's something I grew up with as a kid and something that has stuck with me ever since.
And Dean, I guess one of the great things about you guys growing the athletic program, one of the things you did in the process of building this idea and trying to make it expand, you talked with the president at main campus and you have her support.
Yes, absolutely. So one of the things that we wanted to make sure of is that we weren't stepping on any toes with the NCAA in terms of Kent State's athletic involvements and affiliations. And the answer to that was no. In fact, many of the USCA member organizations, the main campus, if you will, or the parent campus belongs to NCAA. So there was no problem there. And along the way, the president gave her blessing and said, make sure those uniforms say Kent State Tuscarawas on them.
There you have it, and they certainly will when everything does get underway as they go athletics here at Kent State Tuscarawas. And Rob, as we wrap up the conversation and the show for this week, I guess what are some of the immediate goals you guys will have when this program gets underway here in the fall?
Bill, first and foremost, we've got to get out there and get those athletes here to come to our campus, because we can't build the programs without those athletes first and foremost. So we're looking at getting athletes, coaches as well on our campus, get them in the classroom, get them on the athletic fields, qualify for participation. And first and foremost, what I'm focused on, and I think the dean is really excited about, is the golf team here at Kent State Tuscarawas. Because of our success, we automatically qualify to play in the national championship in October at Penn State University on the blue and white course. I might also add that students who are looking to become academic All-Americans, you can do that in the USCA, just like the NCAA. NCAA Player of the Month, year, we have the same thing at the USCAA level. So, hey, we're looking for student athletes. If you're a student athlete and you want to play at Kent State Tuscarawas, you know, I'm sure that the dean would welcome those phone calls, but you can call me. That's the person to call right here, Rob Brindley.
Now, as we wrap up the show, a couple of final words. It's sort of interesting that the golf coach is plugging the golf team. You know, I mean, I guess that's really how you recruit, is when the golf coach does that. Well, Dean, thanks so much for having us. We'll look forward to continue to cover you guys as this grows and expands.
Well, thank you very much. Really appreciate all of your support. And come on out and see a game in the fall semester. We have an open invitation to the public.
We'll continue to keep things updated both on TV2 Sports Talk and on our sister radio station 1450 WJER. You've been locked in to TV2 Sports Talk on your home for the best in sports coverage, Channel 2 on Time Warner Cable.